This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast. Today's discussion is planning for retirement, it's never enough. And I say that somewhat facetiously, but that's the title. Planning for retirement, it's never enough. Anyone who's gotten to my age, and I'm not that old, but if you're my age, plenty of families and people or companies that have found themselves unable to retire or in financial trouble. Further, as one gets older, one realizes that it's harder to make money, and that you might have gotten lucky making money at one point or really grinded to make money, but it's harder as you get older. It's also, you have a shorter period of time to have money compound for you and earn interest and compound. Thus, aside from what's written here, it's critical, in my view. First rule is you have to put away money early and often. It's very hard to do so as one gets older. So many people that I know always said, we'll put money away later, after the kids get through college, or after this happened, or that happened, or that happened, but they never get around to it. And then they find themselves in a spot where they very much have to be working forever if they want to keep up their lifestyle they want to keep up. The next thing I'll point out is it's very important to figure out how to manage your financial investment risk. To be successful in the long run as an investor and a saver for retirement, you need to find the right balance that helps your assets grow, but also protects enough of them just in case. So like when people in the financial business tell you have to be 100% all in on equities, I'm not a believer in that, because you need a certain amount of your portfolio that if things go very poorly with the markets, that you're still okay. I'm over-invested in U.S. Treasuries, so my biggest risk is the U.S. government goes broke. And quite frankly, under the leadership of either President Biden or President Trump, those are very real issues that we have a disaster in our country. But again, you have to have some balance of your equity and your bonds and your portfolio and your treasuries to make sure that some of it's very safe, that you can sustain through good and through bad times. And you also need enough of it in equities so that it can grow, hopefully, at a faster pace than inflation. Finally, in terms of retirement, the other thing we think about in terms of retirement planning is everybody has to learn to some extent how to live on less than they make. And those numbers get tougher as you're sort of spending down your retirement funds or trying to live off the interest or investments in your retirement to make sure you're living in a way where you're not going to outlast your money. And I cannot tell you the amount of people that are out there really worried about outliving their money. And there are small changes you can make to make a big difference. But if you don't take care of them at some point, then people have to make big changes to try not to outlive their money. So that's a thought for the day on planning for retirement. It's everybody's issue. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast.